Harnessing renewable green energy has been the goal of environmentalists for decades. A battle, though, over such a source has been brewing for years in southern Idaho. Since 2020, the Lava Ridge Wind Project has been a highly debated topic centered on whether or not to allow a proposed wind farm to be built on public BLM lands in the Magic Valley. Now, there's been a lot of pushback, specifically from Friends of Minidoka, the survivors and descendants of the World War II incarceration camp nearby, and every one of Idaho's congressional delegation, which is why they all crafted the Don't Do It Act last year to try to keep it from happening. But while that legislation is being considered, there's a new boost of energy to bring it to a full stop. Hunter Funk brings us the details of a proposed budget bill that could blow the project back to square one.
There's a new roadblock taking shape for the large wind project that's had its eyes on the Magic Valley for 4 years. Congressman Mike Simpson took to Twitter saying, quote, "From the beginning, I've made it clear that the Lava Ridge Wind Project is out of touch and has no place in Idaho." Now, this comes after he added a provision to the Interior, Environment, and Related Agencies Appropriations Act for 2025. Now, the Lava Wind Project is a proposed wind energy plant that wants to build turbines in Jerome, Lincoln, and Minidoka counties. The Bureau of Land Management is the group conducting a report on what it would do to the environment. The senior director of the proposed wind project responded saying in part, quote, "This project can help meet the significant demand for domestic clean energy in Idaho and the western United States." It went on to say the BLM addressed stakeholder concerns and made significant modifications to the project. Which is true. In June, BLM cut the project in half from 400 turbines to 241, capped the maximum height to 660 feet, and moved the wind farm 9 miles away from the visitor center for the Minidoka National Historic Site. The Idaho Conservation League says they were satisfied with the adjustments and now worry about the provision.
We were disappointed to see the budget rider pass through the House. BLM has conducted a years-long process incorporating thousands of stakeholder comments and was really responsive to them in their final project. We looked at the final proposal from BLM and weighed thoroughly, the project impacts, concerns, mitigations, and all the rest to ultimately decide that this is a project that we can and should support.
In short, Congressman Simpson's provision says the final environmental impact statement for the Lava Ridge Wind Project, issued by the Bureau of Land Management, shall have no force or effect. Well, what does that mean? Well, the Bureau of Land Management is expected to release a final statement outlining the impact of the proposed wind project on the environment. Simpson couldn't do an interview today, but he did say if the bill is passed in the Senate and House, it would block that statement, which could put a stop to the proposed Lava Ridge plan entirely. So you have the support from some, but there is a lack of support from lawmakers and the community it would be put in. To be clear, nothing is set in stone. It would need to pass the House and Senate.
And we were talking about this before, the fact, what are the chances that it doesn't pass the House and then the Senate and it gets signed by the president? It is a budget bill, an appropriations bill, but it's such a small part of that thing.
Yeah.
Like page 69 of hundreds of pages.
Yeah, it's really long. Yeah, and you're right. It could just get struck out. Somebody could find it and be like, I don't want that in there.
Right. Well,
Very easy.
Again, we'll see how that happens. All right. Thank you very much, Hunter.